Another challenge, but yes, stamping can be used to make 5-minute cards, and I'm going to show you how. My first technique today is to stamp a large floral bouquet. This is going to cover a huge amount of real estate, and it's all going to happen with just one impression. So sometimes we do need to make a card in a hurry, or maybe you just like to challenge yourself or get back some mojo without having to think too hard. Now, these 5-minute card challenges are perfect for any of these reasons, and they're a lot of fun to do. Now, working directly on your card base does save a lot of time. Typically, I would normally create on an A2 panel and then attach it to a card base. But if you are really strapped for time, this is a great speedy hack. I also like to use a stamp positioning tool because that way I can re-stamp if I don't get the perfect impression the first time, and I don't have to start all over again. And using a lovely bold black ink really gives some impact to this design. Now, the next way to really save some time here is to use stencils to add color. Now, this is a simple coloring stencil, so it only does have the one layer, but if you happen to have a multi-layered stencil set, I would just choose maybe one of the middle layers or use the main layer of the stencil, but not blend the whole image out. I am protecting around the edge of the stencil here because I'm using a large blending brush to add color. This is a great way to add color really quickly, and I like that you can get a lighter finish using the bigger brush. But if you do use a smaller blending brush, then you don't need to mask, so you are saving a few seconds there. It all comes down to personal choice. I did come in with a second color here just to add a bit of depth because we still want this card to be beautiful and not look like it's been rushed and done in a 5-minute time frame. I also like to mix up the colors. So if I have got the two colors blended on one flower, on the second flower, what I've done is I've reversed the colors. So my main image is that red base, whereas the smaller flower has the orange base and then just a little bit of red added to the center. The leaves here are a full layer. They don't actually have just that half layer, so I came in and just blended a portion of all the leaves so they still had some of that white space like the flowers do. Stencils really are a time saver and a great way to add color quickly. My next tip is to grab a pre-made sentiment. I have a little stash of sentiments here. I've started doing multiple sentiments at once. I'm finding that it's just easier to be able to grab that when I'm making cards, and sometimes for me sentiments are a last thought. So in fact often they're not something I focus on. It's obviously going to be quicker to add the sentiment directly to the card front, but to make this card that little bit special, I have taken the extra few seconds to pop it up. And the second technique is actually very similar to the first, but this time we're using a large image, and I have this huge ice cream cone and I'm changing things up here. I'm starting by stamping it with colored ink. This makes, you can do this a few ways. You can actually use it as a very light image and then put a bold sentiment over top. But what I thought I'd do here today instead was do some partial coloring or some focal point coloring and really quick washy look using some Copic markers. I'm not concentrating too much about where I'm adding the color, although I am using the lines on the actual ice cream to give me an idea where maybe some shadows could be. This washy way of coloring is quick and easy, and I think it looks really cool. And another time-saving idea is to use sentiments that are from the same stamp set. They are typically made to go with the image and coordinate with the image. So if you are in a hurry, grab one of the sentiments from the set and you know they're going to match. I'm also using some black ink here for the sentiment. I want this part to be quite bold, and I decided to come back in and colour the cherry as well. I still have time in my 5 minutes. I have been setting a timer while I'm doing these cards to make sure that I'm really trying to meet the challenge myself as best I can and trying not to overthink. One of the good things, rather than feeling that pressure of time, is the fact that it makes me stop procrastinating, and the decisions are much quicker because I'm really trying to limit how much time I'm spending on these cards. And if you do find yourself with a few extra seconds or minutes, this is when you can add the details. Here I've grabbed a glitter pen and just quickly gone over the Copic colouring that I've done, and I thought it'd be fun to add a little enamel heart. So I just match the colour of the cherry on top, and my card is done. So I've grabbed a few of my sets that I think would work really well with this technique. I mean, you could stamp out these dogs on a boat and just colouring that one pup that's got the lifesaver and the lifesaver as well. This cake here, it's quite a large stamp, but I just colour the bear. And these puppies, I think I've actually done this one before where I just coloured in one of them, and that looks really cool. You could stamp that in a colour instead of in black. And these flowers, it doesn't have to be images. You could also do this with flowers or a bouquet and just colour a portion of it. Stamping a line art image for a nice detailed look and some focal point colouring is a great way to create a really fast card. The next technique is to create a simple stamped bouquet. You can use any silhouette stamps that you have on hand. You could even use an outline set if you prefer. Just to get the colour in, it's easier to have a silhouette style stamp. And the best kind of stamp set for this technique are these layering flowers. Here I'm getting 3 of the different layers of flowers, and it's going to allow me to stamp 3 roses in 3 stamps. I'm not actually using them to layer and create that depth and dimension. I'm using them more as an outline or a guide to the stamp. I've also grabbed a couple of filler leaves, and these aren't from the set of roses. You could also use those leaves and as outlines. I just wanted something that had more of a solid finish. Another way to speed things up is to use blocks, stamping blocks, and this just makes it faster because you're not having to line things up and make sure that they're perfectly correct in a stamp positioning tool, except then you can miss stamp like I did here. Now I should have probably just grabbed another piece of cardstock, but I did manage to line that up pretty well, and I'll show you how I fix that in just a moment. But I'm doing the same thing here where I'm mixing up the colours. I have used the same colours throughout this whole series of cards because that also speeds things up because I'm not rethinking my colour scheme each time. And when I've come in with the last flower and also on these leaves, I have added double the colour. So I have mixed the 2 colours of inks on the blocks themselves. That's just going to give a little bit of variation in some of these colours here. If your stamps don't fit perfectly well, you can do some simple masking with a post-it note just so that they're not overlapping. I came in and added a few black splatters. I think some sequins or even some gems would have looked really pretty on this card as well. And I did allow myself a few seconds to pop up the sentiment again. I'm using a nice bold sentiment. Now this card, I did see where I had re-stamped the original flower. It was just a little bit fuzzy on the edges. So I found a pencil of the same colour and came in and just crisped up those edges and took those extra couple of minutes to do this rather than restart the card. And while I was there, I added some more pencil details to the multicolored flower as well. My next idea is to use a background stamp. This is a really quick and easy way to add color to your design with stamping. And I thought I'd step it up a notch, and I'm going to be doing an ombre style of inking on the background using the same colors that I've been using throughout all of these cards. I don't want those rough edges where the inks join, although they will kind of meld over time, so I have grabbed an ink blending brush just to smooth those out before I stamp. The other thing I like to do between stamping layers of color is just to quickly wipe away any of the excess ink that's on the plate so that I don't contaminate my next ink pad, which is a lighter color. I'm mixing colors here that I know are going to work well together, but if you're not sure, you can either test them on a scrap piece of paper or check the color mixing on the back of a color wheel. That's going to tell you if the colors will mix and make a nice color or not a nice color. And the perfect thing with these ink pads and this particular background stamp is that they worked out like a really good amount of ink on each side, so I was really happy with that. But another way that you could do it would be to add the ink on the diagonal rather than in horizontal lines. There's so many, or even patchy, that would look great as well. Any pattern background stamp that you have, you can do with this technique. And you can also do it on a larger piece of cardstock and then cut it down to fit the front of a card, or use a sticky grid mat like I have here, which holds the cardstock in place as I'm stamping. But working directly on the card front will speed things up. The other thing that's going to speed things up is to use products that you have already made and not used on a card. So when I was looking at my images to add to this and my sentiments, I managed to find like the perfect sentiment in my stash. I don't know how long this has been in my stash to use, and I'd already stamped out this panda bear and not used it, die cut it, everything. I must have got very close to putting it on a card. But obviously today's the day that he makes it onto the card. I couldn't help myself, because I had that little bit of extra time. I did pop up the panda, and I can't have a panda without eyes, so I did add some white gel pen to the eyes of the panda. And it does take a few seconds for that white gel to dry, so I thought I'd just quickly show the other sets I grabbed out that I thought would work well on this background design. I wanted to keep something as line art and use that sentiment, and I thought this car would have been a lot of fun. And I wouldn't have coloured it, I would have just stamped it in black ink and then used the coordinating die, which speeds things up, and added it to the front of the card. So have a look at what you've got. There's so many images that can be used as line art, and if you've got a coordinating die, you're going to save time on fussy cutting. I decided to give you a bonus idea today, and this time I'm going to be doing some stamping onto design paper. So the design paper is going to do all of the heavy lifting when it comes to colouring. You're not going to be wasting any time colouring because the colour's already there. I did have to toss up which design paper I wanted to use, but I decided to keep in the tones of the other cards that we've been making as well today. One other thing that I love about this inky style design papers or backgrounds, you can create your own. If you've got some already made, why not grab one of those and use it, is the variations in the colour that you can get. Now, lucky I had my image in the stamp positioning tool here, because I did need to come and stamp it not twice but 3 times. All those wasted seconds. But at least I didn't have to start again. Now, I do have a coordinating die for this image, which is going to speed things up. And again, I've grabbed a sentiment from my stash. This time I went for something really bold that I thought would stand out really well in front of the design paper. And to save time again, I've added some liquid glue and attaching the flower directly to the front of the card. It would have been nice to pop this up, maybe add some more. If I had more time, I would add a bit of colouring maybe to the leaves and to the centre of the flowers, but it's a pretty design without that. The other thing I did take the time, because I had plenty of time, was to pop up the sentiment and add a couple of extra details. So for me, adding things like sequins or gem sparkles, it can take me a long time to place them exactly where I want. So having that pressure of time, I didn't overthink it. I just used my visual triangle that I find works well most of the time, focused around the sentiment and onto one of the petals of the flower or leaves. And I also added a little extra detail with the gold gel pen. I thought I'd share some of the sets that I thought would work perfectly with this idea of stamping on design paper. Anything that's like a floral bouquet or a sprig of flowers or something with a fairly solid stamped outline, but if you have a coordinating die, that's really going to speed things up. And if you've got some inked paper or backgrounds, they're perfect to use for this as well. So all together now, starting with our first design, which was the large floral bouquet and its coordinating stencil, which allowed us to add colour very fast. And the second technique also used a large image this time, not floral, and was stamped in a coloured ink, and we did some focal point colouring. Next, it was time to create our own stamped bouquet, and we used a layering floral stamp and just used each of the layers and some filler flowers. And then we used a background stamp to create a fun ombre background and some line art for the image, and we've used pre-prepared sentiments in a lot of these designs, including this last one, where we used some beautiful design paper, stamped and die cut a floral image and added it to the card. Be sure to subscribe for more 5-minute card ideas, because creativity doesn't have to take all day. Do you have a favourite card today, or are you going to try any of these techniques? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked today's video, don't forget to click on the thumbs up button and subscribe so you don't miss a thing, including these amazing videos here. Check them out for some more 5-minute ideas. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.